Hello and welcome back to another Wrestling and to Saturday night's main event on May 23rd out of 10. The 44th edition of the show featured 5 matches with 3 of them highlighting 12 members of the women's division, and we also got the tag team title and the IC title on the line as well, so a lot going on. But we start things off with Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley taking on Jade Cargill, B-Fab and Meechin. Michael Cole welcomed us to the show before WWE aired a video to highlight the event as we went into the match. Cargill opted not to face Ripley at first, so she tagged in to B-Fab to start the match. The women's champ took control and tagged in Bliss for a quick double team. The heels were able to take control once Flair tagged in by cutting the ring in half with quick tags and double team moves. The crowd popped when the Eradicator got the hot tag late in the match. It looked like Flair and Ripley finally found common ground and had a nice moment with Bliss before it finally came to and then with Cargill hitting Ripley for Jaded in the ring. It was probably smart to start the show like this. There were no titles on the line, it didn't really matter who won, but it was enough action to get the crowd excited, and it's safe to say the bout exceeded expectations, building up to the big title match next week. 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to Sol Rooker, who was hoping to win an IC title shot, defeating Becky Lynch. She had a quick interview with Kathy Kelly backstage before making her entrance. The man decided to take the low roll and attack Rooker before the bell began, throwing the IC title at her and beating her down. She argued with the ref until Rooker recovered and knocked her down. The ref called for a bell and Rooker picked up Lynch to plant her on the face. The high flyer hit a series of high impact moves to keep Lynch on the defence. The champ pulled the ref into the path of the Soul Snatcher, and it ended up leading to the ref calling for the bell. The announcer said Lynch was DQ'd, but Wade Barrett seemed to think she was wrong and it should have been the other way round. Lynch came back to the ring and attacked Rooker with 3-man handle slams. The match was fun for a few minutes. It ended up having to take out the window of the sales. Having the announcers seem confused about the DQ, it made it even weirder, but hopefully Rooker gets the chance next week in just as well. So yeah, 5 out of 10. The first of 3 title matches then saw Penta defend his title against Ethan Page. All Ego gave an interview before the match saying it's one of the most important nights of his career. Penta started with a go behind into a waistlock to kickstart a series of counters and reversals. Page miscalculated the counter and ended up taking a kick to the gut, but he recovered right away and took the champ down in the corner. As expected, it was competitive that allowed both men to use their strengths. Penta used a quicker pace when he was in control, while Page slowed things down a bit to be methodical. The crowd got into this, and the previous match was a bit of a letdown. They had enough time to make it entertaining, and it felt like either competitor could get the win at any time. After a commendable performance from 2 veterans, Page's own dirty tactic was used against him, where Penta shoved him into an exposed turnbuckle, hitting a destroyer to retain the title in a really fun match. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. As we then moved on to Paige and Brie versus Nia and Lash, Jax tried to attack the champs before the bell, but they dodged in her and took control right away. Brie hit a few moves on the top rope, but she tried one too many and caught with a Samoan drop. The challenger spent a long time dominating Paige. They both had a big power advantage and made sure to use it to throw her around. While this match had some good moments, it had a few too many that didn't work. They brought good enough energy to the ring though. Paige and Brie ended up scoring the win to retain their titles. Overall, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. As we then moved into our main event, which was Logan Paul and Austin Theory defending the titles against the Street Profits. The crowd was loud, both teams played into it as the match got started. Ford almost got a quick win with a roll up, while Theory was distracted trying to help Paul ignore the chance. Tez had both opponents reading all by himself before he tagged in Dawkins for some double team fun. Heyman tried to get his team to make an early exit, but this Profits chased them and brought them back to the ring. The Vision finally managed to get the upper hand and kept Dawkins isolated in their corner for a little while. Ford got the hot tag and the Profits almost won with a Doomsday blockbuster. The crowd chanted "This is awesome" as both teams tried to recover. Braun tried to interfere, but the Profits saw him coming and sent him over the table. They had the match won, but Heyman put Theory's foot on the bottom rope to save him. Paul nailed Ford with his brass knucks, allowing Theory to cover him for the pin and no win. This was an entertaining main event, but WWE had a chance to have an exciting title change, and it felt like they didn't take it. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed the match, but just made me felt like it was probably the wrong decision. This edition of Saturday night's main event featured some good action, but it felt like WWE missed a couple of opportunities. The only real letdown was Rooker and Lynch's match being so short with a DQ finish. It set up a title match for next weekend, but it felt like that kind of thing would have worked better on an episode of Raw. The main event was fun, but would have been better if it ended with a title change. The best thing to come was Paige v Penta delivering a top-notch performance and made both men look great, but some might have been disappointed that Paige didn't win his first main roster title there. The hot crowd helped make the show enjoyable, but the men and women in the ring made it easy for them to get into it. So yeah, overall I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. So that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.